Alright, in this video what we're going to do is talk about how to add media or files to a page, and then the next one I think we're going to do images. So adding files to a page is like adding PDFs or some kind of document or file you want people to download and print or something. So the best format to use is PDF, because that stands for Portable Document Format. With that, it's made so that your document's going to look the same on mostly everyone's computers. It's going to have the same look, print the same, and same fonts, all that stuff. If you use things like Word documents, you're going to have problems with people not being able to open the files because they have the wrong version of Word, or using some other program that's not going to look quite right. So PDF is the best format to use if you can. Otherwise, people might have a PowerPoint, or they might have some other file that people can download. But this works for any file like that. So I'm going to create a new space, and I'm going to go here, and I'm going to click this one. Where is it? Just add it. This is it. Insert edit file. I was confused there for a minute. Alright, insert edit file. It's going to put it in right there. Brings this editor up, or this sort of window. Up here, the URL or address of the file is blank. And there's some options here, and then these are different folders that are there. So first you can browse the PDF folder that we've set up. Pick one of these files. Let's say we pick this one here about some kind of brochure. Shows the file over here, and then once I clicked on it, up here it filled in sort of the address of where that file is. Target, you really don't have to worry about. It's probably best to leave that not set this time. For text, this is the text that's going to be linked. Okay, so you can change this around if you want. We could remove the underscores. Oops, sorry. I think it'll look something like that. Copy that. And let's just see what it does. You click insert. Puts in a link there. Alright, that's good. But it kind of looks like a normal link. People might not know that's to a file. Alright, so let's try it again. And we'll go back to our insert edit file button. Pretty much do the same thing. I'm already in the PDFs folder. I'm going to pick this same file. There we go. Oops. And then up here, it filled in the address. Here's our link text again. So I can use what I had before and then add like a .pdf. That'll help tell people it's a file. I can also put in the icon, which I'll show you how that looks in a minute. The size we can figure out. Right now there's no size, but we click here. It'll figure out the size of the file. And we'll skip date, but I want to put the size in, so I'm going to check that. And then do insert. And it should take me out of here. And what we've got this time is we got the PDF icon in there because it figured out what kind of file it was. If it's Word or Excel, it's going to put that icon there. It's named differently, .pdf, that helps. Having the file size, that helps too. So between these two links, this one's a little bit more informative. It's going to tell people what they're going to get before they click on it. Because here they might think, oh, I'm just going to another page. And then all of a sudden the browser isn't going to another page, and the hard drive spinning, and Acrobat's opening, and they don't know what's going on. So it's good to inform people what's going to happen before they click on a link, especially if it's not what the expected result is going to be. So that's probably the best way to make a PDF file link there too. So that's PDFs, and that's it for this video. Alright, this one's going to be about how to add an image to a page. Might as well tell you, this is probably the trickiest part of editing a page for a couple of reasons. First, I'm going to show you just the basic way, and then I'm going to show you what you got to watch out for when working with images. So I'm going to go down here and pick a place to put in an image. Couple different buttons. This one right here, that's one we want. Insert, edit image. Click on that, we get our little pop-up window. If you watch the video about how to add a file, it's going to be real similar so far. This is what we're going to fill in here, is this URL. So I'm going to browse the hard drive. I'm going to browse the server. Look for images that are on the server. There's one there. There's a preview. Pick that one. What it did was it filled in the URL right here for it, which that's what we want, and then it put in our alternative text. I think right there it's sort of built into the image, or took it from the name of the image, so we can remove that hyphen if we want. Alternative text, this is for people that are blind and are surfing the web, and when they mouse over an image, the computer tells them what that text is. So you can have the product name in there. You can say this is a trash compactor, or kind of whatever you want. But it's good to put that in there. We figured out the dimensions. This is going to be important in a few minutes. Alignment, we're just going to keep that just plain. We're just going to hit insert and see what happens. Alright, I put our image in here. The default way to add an image is inline, so it's in line with this sentence here. Just put it right in front of where I had my cursor, so it did what it's supposed to. I'm going to highlight that, delete it, and we're going to try one again. Go back to Insert, Edit Image. We get our pop-up. Pick an image here. Same kind of thing. Dimensions, that one looks kind of big, so I'm going to skip that one for now, and I think we've got the same one here. Yeah, it's a pretty good size. And this time, we've got to fill in up here again. Get rid of our hyphen. This time I'm going to put alignment right. You've got different options here. You're mainly going to use left and right. So I'm going to do right, and this tells you alignment is the position of the element on the page in relation to other elements. So in this case, in relation to text. So all I did was pick it, hit alignment right, we'll hit insert, and this time, since I put it here, it's aligned it to the right of that, and the text wrapped around it. So that's typically the kind of layout people are looking for. This image sort of has a little white space built into it, but you can tell the text is kind of butted right up next to the image there. So we can edit that and put some space in, which would be better, which is what I suggest with an image like this, because it has a border. If you didn't have the border and just the white space, then you probably don't need extra space. So what I'm going to do is highlight the image, and since this button is insert or edit, I'm going to click it, and we're going to be editing that image that I have highlighted. You could do this all in one step, but I'm doing it just to show you. We have our images highlighted here. Everything's the same as when we left it, align right. But I'm going to fill in margin. Sometimes this is called vertical or horizontal space, but here it's called margin. Equal values is checked, so if I put in 6 here, it's going to put 6 all around it. And what this is pixels, so they're pretty small. So a number between 5 and 10 is usually pretty good. to get some space around it since pixels are pretty small. You got some other options here for border. You usually don't want a border. You want to build that in the image, if anything. So let's see, I'm just going to add the space in, so hit update, and now these words are a little farther away from the image, and that's what we want. So that's the kind of basic part of doing an image. Couple things where it gets tricky. Basically, we're thinking about image size. I'm going to flip back to our site here, and on this site we got quite a bit of room for text, going across the page. Remember, this is our content area from about here to about here, and I didn't measure it, but my guess is that's probably about 600 pixels, maybe 625, somewhere in there. So if we add an image, we want to keep that in mind. Now, we can have people scroll up and down the page, but you typically don't want someone scrolling left and right across the page. What we're viewing here is standard resolution of 1024 wide by 768 high. So that's pretty standard resolution people have now. They either have that or higher. So in order to get our page not to scroll left and right, this one does slightly, but we don't want any more than that. Scrolling up and down is fine. So we want to think about image width. If we put in an image that was wider than this space, then it's going to stretch everything out, and people are going to have to scroll left and right. So look at your site, figure out how much space you have to work with. And for this one, you probably don't want to go more than 3/4 of the way. So if this is, just for argument's sake, 600 pixels wide, you probably want to go 400 wide would be the widest image we'd want to use if we're going to still have text wrap around the sides of it. Otherwise, what you could do is put a new paragraph in here and put the image above the text, so you could take advantage of the full width of the content area if you wanted. So what that means is, I'm going to get rid of this. Just hit delete there. If you do use an image on your website, you want to make sure that it's already to the right size before you would upload it and bring it onto your site. So you're going to have to use a program like Photoshop or some sort of program, photo editing software, to get the image to the right size. If you use a Mac, the preview program works really good. It's got a lot of functions built in for resizing and stuff that comes with it. Or on Windows, I believe you can use Microsoft Photo Editor. That can do a bit. When you do resize an image and save it, you've written over the original image, so you can't get it back. So when you do edit to your images and resize them, you probably want to do a save as, so that you get a new file out of it. And I'll usually add a -sm or something to the file name. Let me just type in here, like -sm to the file name. And then speaking of file names, any file for the web, you can't have any kind of funky characters, I say, in the file name. So anything like an ampersand or an exclamation point, space you can use, but I suggest you don't. Any kind of crazy characters like this should not be in the file name at all. Our kind of rule is you can use lowercase or numbers. You can put a number in there, and that's fine. And if you use any spaces, don't put in spaces, but use a underscore or a dash. So alphanumeric underscore dash, and we usually stick to lowercase. You're going to have the most luck with that. If you start having ampersands and question marks and stuff in there, you're going to run into problems. So you've been warned. Alright, so that's how you name a file. And again, name it as something new would be good. So I'm going to stop there. The next video we're going to show doing an image, but I'm going to upload it from my computer. Alright, here's how to work with testimonials if your site is using testimonials module. Basically what I would do is first go in here, select category. There should be a testimonials category. This gets them all shown. This site actually doesn't have any because it's not running, but presumably there'd be some here. Or you may be at this kind of scenario already where you need to add some in. So from here you just click new to add a new one. Basically it's going to make a new page for you, but since we're in the testimonials section and category that's filtered already, it already put it in under section and under category. The title for a testimonial doesn't really matter because it's not going to show. It's not going to show up on the site anywhere, but you do want to make one or title it that will make sense to you. So if you need to edit it later, you can. Just naming something testimonial 1 isn't going to help you if you need to go make an edit to it later. So just put my name in there because I'm doing this testimonial, and type something in. Like that. And there's really nothing else to do on this page. It's simple. You just hit save. After we do that, we've got it showing here. And what will happen, what the testimonial module does, is it looks for any articles under the testimonial section and category. And whenever it finds one, it's just going to randomly pick one from whatever's available. So right now it would just pick this one, or if I had 6 of them here, it would pick from one of those 6. Or if I had 6 here and I unpublished one of them, let's see if I can do it. That's unpublished. So now it would pick every other one but besides the one that's unpublished. So it only picks published testimonials. So make sure they're published if you want them to show. And that's it.